Hey, good afternoon and welcome everybody. It is 1 o'clock, the top of the hour, so we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to MS Teams, getting started with MS Teams. My name is Julie and I'll be your host today. So here's our agenda. We're going to talk about MS Teams and their compatibility. We're going to look at setting up your profile and notifications. We're going to look at using chat and one-on-one and group conversations, sharing and collaborating, scheduling and conducting meetings. So when you think about your everyday activities, you know, we're connecting with colleagues, we're attending meetings, we're collaborating on projects. And it just seems like, you know, I have two monitors here and I'm constantly going from one tab to another tab, from my email to, you know, a video meetings. We're collaborating on projects. You know, just this morning, I've been on probably 20 to 25 different tabs, depending on what I want to do. And what MS Teams does for us is it's a one-stop shop. It manages all of our contacts. We can chat and call on there. We can set up meetings. We can host meetings. We can, you know, set up meetings on the spot. You can share and store files on there. You can collaborate on different documents. So like I said, we're going to look at this, and it really is just a one-stop shop where you don't need to go to any other application because everything is right there in one area. It is compatible with a PC, with a Mac, with your iOS, and your Android. So any app, any browser, you can access MS Teams through. We're going to access a live MS Teams here in just a minute, but this is what your menu is going to look like. On the left-hand side, they have what we call the left rel menu. And that's where you have all of your different applications. In the middle, they have what you call the staging area where everything happens. And then in the upper right-hand corner, you have your profile. So let me go ahead and go to a live. Yeah, here it is. This is my live MS Teams app on my, this is just web-based on my PC. And as you can see at the top, you have a search button on the side. I can look at all of my activities. I can go through chats. I can set up teams. I can join teams. If you have assignments, you can put them in there. You have the ability to go to the calendar and set up meetings. If your business or your industry has set up calls on MS Teams, you can make calls directly from this application. You can also store all your files. Now, my MS Teams is connected with my Outlook email. So when I click on my files, everything that I have saved to my OneDrive will populate for me. So all of these apps are working together behind the scenes in MS Teams. And then over on the right-hand side, you have your profile. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to start by clicking on that. And we're going to look at your status and setting up a status message. We're going to look at some of the settings in there. But the other options down below, you can go ahead and browse through. Those are really for an accelerated class in MS Teams. But let's start with, you know, changing your picture. So very user-friendly. If I want to change my picture to maybe my pups or something else, I can go ahead and just click on Change Picture. It will browse out to my PC, and you can upload any picture that you would like. So pretty user-friendly there. Right below that, you have your availability. So if you're busy, if you're in a meeting, if you are out of town for the day, maybe traveling, you can set your status within this profile. So you can tell everybody that you are available, busy, you know, please do not disturb, be right back. Maybe you went for a quick 10-minute walk or whatever the case may be. And then let's say that I'm busy, and I want to give an explanation as to why I'm busy. I can go ahead and set my status. Oops, come here. So set status message. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to busy, and then I'm going to go to set status message, and I can just put a little message in here saying, you know, in an all-day meeting. All right. And then down below, if you're like me, you forget to change this once you get back to the office or back to your desk at home, whatever the case may be. You can set this to last for, you know, an hour, 4 hours today. You can customize it so that it automatically turns off for you. And when you do this, again, it communicates this information with your Outlook account as well. So I'm going to go ahead and change this from busy back to available. So that's just a little bit about the settings. We're going to go into settings. This allows you, in general, this allows you to change your theme from default, which is a lighter setting, to dark, and you can have a high contrast. Personally, I like the default. It's a little bit lighter. It's easier for me to see. But again, something that you can play around with and see which theme fits you best. And then down below that, you have your layout. So you've got two different types of layouts. You have grid and you have list. I prefer the list, so that's what we'll be working with today. You can apply any sort of language, any language that you would like. But just by clicking on the down arrow, it will populate any language that you want to work with. So that's just general. Underneath privacy, you can manage priority access. So in other words, if you have somebody that you allow to respond to your emails, take your calls, set your calendar, you can put that person in here and they will have access to your team's account. Notifications. And notifications is really a personal, depends on how you personally operate, because you've got all of these different options to look at, and you can switch them. There's 3 different options. You can have them in a banner and an email. So in other words, a notification. You can just have a banner. If you're not familiar with the term banner, that's a little pop-up that in MS Teams will come up in the lower right-hand corner. You can have it showing your feed only. I'll show you where that feed is in just a second. So if you're someone that's constantly in MS Teams, you know, maybe you don't want it to email you and show you a banner. Maybe you just want it in the feed. If you're somebody that wants a lot of different notifications, you can keep it in banner and email. And you know, all these different options are something that you'll have to go through. And as you're working with teams, I'm sure that you'll go in and change some of these notifications to better fit your personal professional style. So that's how you would change your notifications. Again, if you have calls, if your company has set up calls, you can come in and configure your calls, you know, to call directly to you, to forward your calls. You can configure your voicemail in here and items like that. So that's just a little bit about all of the settings in MS Teams. Now we're going to go from the right-hand side of our screen over to the left-hand side. And I'm going to start with chat. Because chat is very interesting and you can do a lot of different things with it. So you can see that I have a couple of different chats up here. If I want to continue my chat with Patricia Smith or Nathan, I can do so simply by clicking on that particular person's name. So if I want to send a message to Patricia, all I need to do is click on her name. You can see that I'm talking directly to her because it has her name. In our working area or in our staging area, as I said earlier, you can see our earlier conversations. And along the top, you know, right now we're in chat, you have files, you have organizations, you have activities, and these are items that we'll look at here in just a little bit. But I'm going to come down and I'm going to just send Patricia a message, you know, great workshop on Zoom this morning. Okay, so I can just type in that message and hit the enter key, and I've sent Patricia that message. Same with Nathan. If I want to send Nathan another message, I can come down and say, you know, what is the status with the advanced Excel class? Hit return, and it sends Nathan that message. So that's a way to send just a couple of different messages. Let's say that I want to start a brand new chat. So if I come up here and I click on chat and I click on new, that's what the little pen stands for. It tells me just to the right of there that I can enter a name, email, group, or tag. So I can go ahead and type in maybe Sheena Hendricks, who is an academic advisor for MCC, and I can say, hope you are having, you know, a great day, and send her a little message. So now I have 3 people active that I'm chatting with, and if I want to, I can come up here to create again. And this time I'm just going to type in do space. So when I type in do space, I've created a group here, and it's a group of 3 different people. I'll definitely show you how to create that group. But you can see that over on the right-hand side, right underneath my profile picture, it says 3. If I click on that, it tells me that Patricia Adams, myself, Nathan, are all in this group. Now, if you come back over and look at my icons, these icons indicate to you whether it's an individual group, whether it's a team, whether it's a group of people, because right now on Sheena and Nathan and Pat, I just see their profile picture, where with do space, it has, you know, a line through it. So I'm seeing a P for Patricia, and I'm seeing an N or Nathan's profile picture, and that bubble is just kind of cut in half. So I can go ahead, you know, and type in a message there. But let's say that I want to add somebody to this group. So I'm going to come back over and I'm going to say, okay, I want to add a person. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on add a person, and I will type in Patricia Smith. And there she is right there. I'm going to add her. I can continue to add more people if I would like to. Once you've added all the people to the group that you would like, you have some additional decisions to make. Right now, I've got a couple of messages in there that I have shared with Patty. There's 2 Patricias now, making that just a little bit confusing. So you've got Patricia Adams, you've got Nathan, and myself. If I don't want the people that I'm adding to this group, if I don't want them to see the prior messages, I can say don't include chat history. I can change that to include history from a number of past days, or I can allow them to go through the entire chat and see everything. I'm going to go ahead and click on don't include chat history. I'll go ahead and click on add Pat to our group. And when I click on the down arrow or the group, you can see that now I have Patricia Adams, myself, Nathan, and Patricia Smith on here. And there is a line there that says that she's been added to the chat, but that line means that she can't see anything above that as well. Now you can leave a group. However, you need to be very careful about this because once you leave a group, you can't get back in. So if you do leave a group, you want to make sure that that is the action that you want to take. So I can go ahead and I can type a message to everybody. Just, maybe have a great weekend. So that message went to the entire group. Now that group is currently called Do Space. If I want to change that, I can click on the pencil and I can just say maybe MCC Continuing Education. So I can change that group name. I can click on Save and it is saved. Okay, so I had this group created prior to you logging in today. So let's go ahead and create a new group. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on the plus sign and I'm going to put in Patricia Smith, and then I need to go ahead and just, send her an email or send her a message. I can say hi, and if I want to add somebody to that group, all I need to do is come back over underneath my profile picture, click on the plus sign, and I can add somebody else to that group. So we'll just go ahead and add Nathan to that group, click on add, and now I have Nathan and Patricia in that group. And it says I'm starting a new conversation because these two have never been in a group, just the two of them. So just a simple message. Now, after I've sent that message, you can see that just to the right of their two names, I have a pencil and I can name this group. So maybe I'm just going to say Nathan. Good thing it's watching my spelling. Nathan and Pat S. You can go ahead and click on save, and I have now saved that group as Nathan and Pat S. So that's a little bit about chatting. You can see that I've got two groups here. I have 3 individuals. If it's somebody that I don't communicate with very often, and maybe I want to hide that, I don't need to see that over here in my activity, I can just go ahead and click on these 3 little dots. And those 3 little dots always gives you more information. So I can mark information as unread. I can pin this, and I'll show you that here in just a second. Or I can hide this group. Doesn't mean that I'm deleting the group, just means that it's going to disappear from this pane. So I can go ahead and click on hide, and it disappeared from that pane. So let's say that I want to pin somebody to the top. So perhaps Patricia is somebody that I communicate with frequently in MS Teams. I can select pin and it will pin her to the top. Maybe Nathan and Pat are somebody that I talk to frequently. I can pin the 2 of them. So now I have 2 different groups in here. I have pinned and I have recent. And I can move that information around. And I think I just answered that question. Sorry, the chat, I just pulled that up. I apologize. It looks like I did have one question in there, but I believe I have answered that. So thank you for your question. So now I have 2 different groups in here. I have pinned and I have recent. If you want to move these around, you can do so by dragging and dropping them. If you decide that maybe somebody, a person or a group that you no longer want them pinned, you can go back to your 3 dots and click on unpinned, and they will move back down into recent. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Patricia Smith, and you can see our conversation. So far, all I've sent has just been some real plain text messages. You can also see as I hover my mouse over these messages that I can put an emoji next to them. So if you like something, you can give it the thumbs up, or you can do a little smiley face, whatever the case may be. If you want to delete the message or edit the message, those are those three dots again. If I go in and edit this message, maybe I'm just going to add something to it. I'll ask for some feedback, and then I'm going to go ahead and just hit the enter key. It does tell you that the message was edited, but it doesn't tell you what the edit was. So it could have simply been a spelling error, or it could have been something else, like I just added to this particular message. So now I'm going to come down, and I'm going to click down here where it says type a new message, but this time I'm going to click on the little A. So underneath the messages, you've got several different options. We want to spend some time talking about those. So if I click on the A, it brings up some options that we frequently see in different software packages. So I can go ahead and I can type in So I want to grab lunch. I am buying, and period. So I can spruce that up a little bit. I can, again, I'm going to highlight it. I can make it in bold, italic. I can underline it. I can strike through if I want to. You can highlight it. So if I highlight it, I can go ahead, maybe highlight in a blue, and you can see that it just makes that, spruces it up just a little bit. So if somebody did a great job, you might want to spend some time editing your text, just sending just a little bit of a fancier message. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell it no highlight for right now. I'm going to go ahead and click on the A. You can change your font color if you want to. So we'll go ahead and just change that font color, and I'll deselect so that you can see that happening as I go through. Go ahead and select that again. I can select from 3 different font sizes. We have large, and then it moves into, heading 1, heading 2. So it looks very similar to Microsoft Office if you've used that. So you can change the size of your text and then do some additional formatting from there by selecting the compose box. You can clear all of your formatting. You can add some different things over here. You can align it if you want to. If you want to make a, maybe a bullet list, I can. Pizza, tacos, or a salad. So I can just, give her some options. There we go again, can't type today. Give her some different options. So again, that's just a bulleted list. I can also, change that to a numbered list, or I can add a numbered list in there if I want to. I can go ahead and click on the quotes, and that just puts a gray box around it, emphasizes it just a little bit more. You can simply turn that on and off. It's just a toggle switch, and go ahead and hit my enter key. We can add some more information in here. If you want to emphasize something, again, the 3 little dots gives you more options. Maybe I want to insert a horizontal rule, so I'll go ahead and insert that. Gives me a horizontal rule. It kind of says, okay, to me it's saying I've got 2 different messages here. You want to buy lunch or want to grab lunch. I'm buying. Here's the options. What would you like? And meeting at 2 p.m. So I offered to buy her lunch, give her some different options, and then tell her that we have a meeting at 2 p.m. So that's just putting a little bit more emphasis into the message if you would like to do that. Then whenever I'm ready, I can go ahead and click on the little airplane, and it will post that message in there to Patricia. So again, that is just the A. You could change your formatting. Next to that, you have 3 different types of messages that you can send. You have standard, you have important, and you have urgent. So, if you have something really important that you need someone to respond to within the next 10 minutes or so, I guess you could put urgent. I would be, pretty careful about doing that because it does notify the recipient every 2 minutes for 20 minutes. So, if you've got an important message, you can certainly change it to important. Maybe if the building's on fire, you can change it to urgent to tell everybody to get out. But I like to stick to standard messages. I'm not a fan of messages that are sent as urgent or important. My personal feeling is if it's that important, pick up the phone or create a video conference with me and approach it that way. So as you can see, those are the first 2 options. Then you have a little paper clip, and we all know that paper clip is universal to attach a file. So when I click on the paper clip, it comes up and says, okay, where do you want to add a file from? Do you want to go to your OneDrive, or do you want to upload something from your PC? So we'll just look at both of those. I'm going to click on OneDrive. And again, as I said earlier, perhaps you hadn't gotten logged in yet. MS Teams is connected to your Outlook email. So anything that I put in my OneDrive that I saved, these documents are going to be available to be in MS Teams. So maybe we're just working on an Excel project, so I'll just go ahead and select the if statement and click on share. And when I click on the little send, it will now send that particular file to Patricia for her to view. If I want to add something from my PC, very simple, same thing, go back to the paperclip, click on upload from my computer, and I'll just grab a quick document here. Maybe we'll stick with Excel, and we'll do a VLOOKUP example. So maybe I want her to look at these 2 Excel documents, so I can send those to her. Okay. Now along the bottom, that's attaching. So very similar to what you do with an email. Next to that, you have your emojis and your GIFs and your stickers, things like that. So if you want to send an emoji, you can go ahead and click on that. You've got all of your different categories. Maybe it's her birthday, so I'll just send her a birthday cake. Select that, click on enter, and there she's got a spinning birthday cake. Same thing with GIFs. If you want to select a GIF maybe and just say good morning, you can do that, and it will send. You can select multiple items. You don't need to do them one at a time. Perhaps I'll go back to the paperclip real quick and show you this. I'm just going to go back to my OneDrive, and I will select, oops, come here. Go back to my OneDrive, and maybe I want Julie and document 2. Okay, it's giving me fits, but you can share them with more than one document at a time, I promise. I'm not sure what was going on there, but if we have time, we'll come back to that and see what was going on. So below where it says type of message, you've got several different options that you can spruce things up a little bit. Okay, now if I come up here by Patricia's name, We have chat, which we've been looking at. If I click on files, remember those files that I shared with her in the chat? Those files are now also underneath the files category. So if you're looking for those files, you don't have to go through the chat. You know, depending on how often you chat with somebody, it could have been days ago, it could have been months ago, it could have been years ago, and you're looking for these files. But they automatically go to two places when you bring them up. They go into the chat. They also are stored in files. And they will be there until you delete them. So if you want to delete them, if I come back out to my chat and I click on those three dots, I can tell it to delete the if statement. And when I come back over to my files, you'll see that now I only have two documents there. So those two documents are there. I don't have to share them in the chat. I can come back over to files and I can click on share. Again, I can go from OneDrive or upload from my PC. We'll go ahead and upload from my PC this time. And I'm just going to grab, again, some different documents. Now it seems to be working just fine. I'm simply holding down the shift key. If you want to select multiple documents, you can grab that shift key and it will let you upload more than one document at the same time. Control A will work as well if you want to upload all of the documents within any folder. You can certainly do that. A little bit of a keyboard shortcut. Just click on open when you're ready and it will upload those files to MS Teams. It may take a few minutes, so we'll go ahead and look at some other options. So underneath organization, it doesn't have any information, but you can add information about your organization if you'd like to. Activity, which is nice. You can add that as well. I don't have that up and running. That's really more of a sophisticated option that we'll be looking at in future Teams classes. But what I think is really cool is that if I click on this plus sign, I can add any other tab that I want to. So if there's a website that I want to share that the two of us or a group that you put together that you use frequently, you can certainly do that. So I'm just going to type in something pretty simple here. We'll just use the DoSpace.org. Okay, let's go with www.omaha.com. What am I doing here? Let me go back for a second. Bear with me. Let me go back to that plus sign. Websites. There's always a little step that you're missing. So let me go ahead and close this up to show you where I was going wrong. I'm going to go ahead and click on the plus sign, and I need to tell it what sort of document that I'm going to add to our conversation. I'm going to go ahead and click on website, and we'll type in www.DoSpace.org. Okay, so we've got the tab name in there, DoSpace. I've got, let's see what's going on here. I'm going to go find it. Okay, I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to do a quick copy and paste it in there. There we go. Now it likes it, folks. So I'm going to go ahead and click on save. And now it has added another option to my conversation with Patricia. So we've got chat, we've got files, we have organization, we have activity, and I have now added the do space. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back over to chat. You probably noticed in the upper right-hand corner that I have a camera. So if I want to do just an instant video call with Patricia, I can click on that and it will ping her, for lack of a better term, and you can have an instant meeting with her.
Patricia is currently unavailable.
Okay, so it says that she's unavailable.
Message after the tone.
So we'll go ahead and hang up. So that was just a quick video call. Again, if your company has incorporated audio calls into MS Teams, you can certainly access it that way. And then it comes up and says, what was the quality of your call? We really didn't have a call, so I won't rate my call. I was kind of laughing about this morning with the video calls in MS Teams because, you know, you need to probably be ready at all times to have somebody do a video call with you rather than a scheduled one. So if you're working in your pajamas, you might want to think twice. So anyway, thank you for bearing with my sense of humor there for a minute. So that's the chat, and you can see there's quite a bit to the chat. Now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click on calendar, and you can see that here is my calendar. I have the option of viewing, you know, whichever week I want to. I can switch that. I can go from month to month by clicking on the arrows. So you can set this up however you want to. The really nice thing about it, let me go back to today. You can see that on my calendar, I have a due space webinar. Let's say that, you know, at 4 o'clock, I'm just going to go ahead and click on that, and it gives me the ability to add a meeting. So at 4 o'clock, we're going to go over maybe the ice cream account. So that is the name of the meeting. Below that, I have participants that I want to attend, so I can just go ahead and type in their names, whoever I want to attend. So I will put Patricia in here. You can see that she is mandatory. You can also have optional people. So if you want to add, you know, 5 or 10 people that it's mandatory that they go to the meeting, you can put those folks in. If it's optional for them to attend the meeting, you can add people below that. Underneath there, you can change the date of the meeting. So maybe it's not today. Maybe we want to do this on Monday. I can change that to September 21st. You can adjust your times. So right now it's at 1 p.m. It starts at 1 p.m. and it ends at 1:30. I can very easily go in and change that as well. If it's an all-day event, it gives you the option to click on that button and it switches it to all day. If it's an event that occurs, you know, every week, every month, you don't need to put it in every week, every month. You can tell it that you want it weekly. So every Monday from 1 to 3, we're going to talk about the ice cream account. When you're looking at channels, that's more of different divisions. And again, that's something that is discussed in future MS Teams classes. You can put a location in here. I'll just put in 72nd and Dodge, and then your meeting notes. See you Monday. So that's just setting up a quick calendar invite, very similar to the calendar that you're probably used to using. So I'm going to go ahead and click on send. It's going to send Patricia an email concerning the meeting on Monday. If I flip forward to Monday, you can see that that is now on my calendar. And the other thing that I wanted to show you was I'm going to switch from MS Teams over to Outlook. So when I go into my Outlook account, I'm going to come over here to my calendar, and you can see that it is also on my Outlook calendar. So at 1 o'clock, I have that meeting talking about the ice cream account. So you can see that it's instantaneous, that it schedules in both of your MS Teams and your Outlook calendar. So I think that that is kind of neat. So, you know, you could click on Meet Now, you can create a new meeting. There's several different ways that you can approach this. If you want to create a meeting, you can also create a meeting underneath chat. So I didn't necessarily have to go to calendar. I could have done it right here because I have a little calendar. I can go ahead and click on that, and it automatically populates that same screen that we saw before. So if I want to schedule a meeting with more than one person, I can come up here to my group, my MCC CC, and I can just go ahead and click on calendar, add in that title. I don't want to do that because one of my work associates knows that all of these emails are going to her account without a real meeting happening, but Nathan and Patricia Adams don't. Just wanted to show you that by clicking on that, it automatically includes them into the email, and you can set that up in the same manner that I just did. Okay, so that's looking a little bit at the calendar. The next thing that I want to look at is Teams. And Teams is a little bit different than chat in that I look at this more as in share groups. Maybe you're an instructional designer, maybe you're in HR, you know, maybe you're a first grade teacher, and you can either go out and find these teams. You can join these teams if you want to and have a conversation with them. Like I said, it very much so reminds me of social media almost, or you can create your own teams if you would like. So down at the bottom in the left-hand corner of my screen, you can see that I have the option to join or create a team. If I click on that, it comes up and it says, okay, you know, what do you want to do? So I'm going to come up here, and first of all, I'm going to search for a team to join. And maybe I'll just put in MCC. So it looks like Metropolitan Community College IT Ethical Hacking Club. So if I want to join the hacking club, it allows me to do that. So this is a public club, not a private club. And I'll show you the difference between that here in just a minute. So I can go ahead and click on Join Team, and it comes over here and it shows me that I have joined the team, but it looks like it has a hidden channel. So there's different divisions within this particular club. You have clubs and you have files. I'm not sure whether there's any files in here or not. Looks like there are some populating. Yep, badges and awards. So that's how you would go in and join or create a meeting. So if when you're out networking or you hear from a friend that, this is a great team to join, it's got excellent information, someplace that you can just go in and collaborate with and share ideas, ask questions. That's the ability in Teams. So let's say that you want to create your own team. I'm going to go ahead and click on Join or Create Team. And my very first tab right here says that I can create a team. When I do that, it comes up and it says, okay, is this for a class? Is this for, you know, PLC, a professional learning committee? Is it for staff, or is it for other? And I'm just going to create one for other. And I will just put in a few of my siblings. So I'll call this the Hamilton group. Description, I don't need to put anything in there. It's not mandatory. So for right now, I'll just put in there. Okay, so can't wait to chat with all of you. After you've determined that, below that you have privacy. Remember, I was talking about the fact that you could make them private or you could make them public. I'm going to go ahead and make this private, so it's by invitation only. So I've got this set up. I'm going to go ahead and click on next, and it's creating my team for me. And it says, okay, you can either start typing in a name. So if somebody's in my contacts, I can start typing in their name. So if I type in Kathy Montz, which is my sister, it also says that she is a guest to Teams, which is just fine. I can go ahead and click on her name, click on add, and then maybe I'll invite see if Brenda's in here. If they're not populating in here, you can simply copy and paste email addresses in here if you'd like. Now I've got a few more. Let's see if I can find one. Okay, well, you've got the gist of it. So I can type in one name at a time, or if I have groups of people, remember we created underneath chats, we created groups of people. So if I put in MCCCC, it would populate those people as well as those groups as well. Okay, so I'm just going to add one person. I'm going to go ahead and click on close. And I now have 3 teams. I have one team that I created myself. I have 2 that I have joined. And you can very easily, again, go in and join teams or create new teams if you would like. All right, so one thing that I haven't showed you is the activity feed. So once you really get started using MS Teams, there's going to be multiple listings in this feed. Right now, I only have one thing in here because we're just getting started using it through Metro. I've been using it for about 6 months with another organization. So we've got, again, you've got your activity, you have your chats where you can chat with just one person or several. You can also see, note that when I'm glancing at my chats, that Sheena Hendricks, that chat is a little bit darker, means that it hasn't been read yet. Looks like she sent me a message at 1:21. I'll get back to that a little bit later. So you have all of your chats, you have people that you can pin, you have your most recent. If you don't want them in this group, you can hide them. That's not deleting them, that's just not having them show in this particular area. Again, I'll go back to Patricia because we had so many different options up here. We did chats, we shared files, and I added a website in there, which doesn't seem to be cooperating, but trust me, it does work. So that was a little bit about the chat. You have different teams that we just talked about. Assignments. I don't need to assign anybody anything. This is more for educators that are teaching online right now. You have your calendar and all of your different files. All right, folks, that was just, a short little dog and pony show about MS Teams. I don't see any other questions. If you do, we've got a few minutes left. So if you have a question, feel free to put it in the chat. I promise that if I don't have an answer for you immediately, that I will definitely find out for you. If you don't have anything, have a happy Friday and have a wonderful and safe weekend. Hope to see you again soon. Thanks, everybody.